Alright, I'm making this video to show you all the various ways to find our dear darling Triss in The Witcher 3. As you know, it all begins as we arrive at the main square in Novigrad, where a sorceress and a Doppler are being burned at the stake. By the way, Menge has a rather lengthy speech you can easily miss, or at least partially miss, if you approach too quickly.
Will we allow monsters and charlatans to overrun our city?
No!
Then we proceed to look for Triss in her old home, but sadly we only find a couple of looters.
Sorceress, it's like a witch with muscle. Cast a spell and all's gone in a flash.
Well, she was in a rush. Must have left something.
Now there is an interesting detail here if you decide to fight them. Normally it's a fist fight, but if you pull out your sword, they will instantly stop and start cowering before you.
Mummy!
Bloody hell!
This is very much the opposite to what happens if you pull out your sword during the fight with Steingrim in Skellige. But back to the looters, as soon as you hit them once, they immediately surrender, and you even get different dialogue where they're trying to calm you by offering you part of the loot.
Calm now. We'll split it. Plenty here for everyone.
I'm not a thief. Looking for the sorceress who lived here.
Most likely hiding in some rat trap with the rest of them.
Now, inside the house you can find a couple of Witcher 2 references, namely the Rose of Remembrance.
The Rose of Remembrance. All dried up.
And Triss's outfit from the second game.
Triss's. Never knew her to drop them on the floor.
Oh, and outside there are a few glagolic inscriptions on the walls, saying nasty things about sorceresses. This one here stands for the English letters that form sorceresses are whores. And the other one here, as far as I can tell, is basically the same thing, except in Polish. The top word is czarodejki, at least that's how it's pronounced in Bulgarian, which means sorceresses, witches, that sort of thing. And the bottom one is kurwa, which I think is used as a generic swear word in Polish, correct me if I'm wrong, but it also means whore. And it says the same thing again next to the entrance. These are actually one of the very few cases where glagolic inscriptions translate into non-English words. But moving on, as we exit the house, we can find Triss hiding in the Putrid Grove in one of three ways. First, with the help of the beggars, second, by following the thieves, or third, through the sewers. First off, in terms of the beggars, there are 4 individuals you can speak to. The crippled one.
Word is nothing's free in Novigrad.
Oh, another one come bursting with questions. Now, where do you folk gain the idea we beggars know everything? I need to see this and I need to find that one who robbed me brother. Fuck if I know.
The one with the wife.
You tell me where you drop your takings for the day.
I drop them with me lady. Serious trouble if I didn't.
I know you pay tribute to the king of beggars. Don't have a choice.
As far as I'm concerned, a king of beggars can stick his crown up his arse, then shove it even deeper with his scepter.
The xSoldier.
Gotta find the back alley locals call the Putrid Grove. It's important.
Don't know naught about no grove, putrid or other. Don't generally care much for orchardry.
And the one whose mind is addled.
Been like this long? Addled?
Since me mother birthed me. Here's where it's addled. There. Showing you with me finger. See that? Me indicating.
He is actually the only one who knows, or rather is willing to tell you where the Putrid Grove is. Fun fact about him is that he will only tell you if you first engage in a bit of small talk with him.
You're happy. That's what counts.
I am. When folk ask me the way, I like that most, because I can point, like this. There. Because I know my way around the city. Oh, do I ever.
If you cut right to the chase, he will refuse to say, and you'll have to come back and talk to him again on the following day.
I gotta find the place they call the Putrid Grove.
I know it but won't say. I know it but won't say.
Why not?
Not allowed to say. I would tell you though, if you didn't push, weren't so insistent. If you like, come again. Might tell you then.
Guess your mind truly is addled.
Didn't I say so?
Now moving on to the thieves, there's quite a bit you may have missed here. It all starts if you witness this shady person robbing a member of the crowd and decide to follow him.
He sensed something. Gotta stay further back.
If you get a little too close, he will grow suspicious and he will stop you for a bit of dialogue.
Why the hell are you following me?
Just happen to be going where you're going.
And how the bloody hell do you know where I'm going?
Most of the choices here will lead to the two of you supposedly going your separate ways. However, if you really push the notion that he is stealing from the King of Beggars, he will actually tell you to follow him.
What, actually think Bedlam will believe you? You're in for a fucking surprise. Come on, genius. Can't wait to see what he does to you.
Now, regardless of whether he told you or you just decided to follow him anyway after the conversation, he will always end up leading you into a trap. On the other hand, if you keep your distance and he never stops to talk to you, halfway through the stalking, you will be interrupted by a fifth beggar at Madame Irina's theatre.
Sir, be merciful. Give us a crown, eh? Me mum's sick, and if I don't feed her, well, she's like to die of hunger.
It doesn't really matter what you do here, but the encounter will slow you down a little bit, and you'll have to make sure that you keep up, because if you don't, the guy you're following will disappear. Now, if you remain unnoticed for a little bit longer, you will see as he passes his loot onto another man. Now, at this point, you can choose to keep following the first thief, which will ultimately lead you into the ambush, or you can follow the second guy. If you get too close to him, once again you will get a little bit of dialogue, and in fact some of it is pretty good.
Walking, always behind me walking. What the fuck?
Need you to lead me to the alley they call the Putrid Grove.
What the hell do you think this is? A fucking guided outing? You want to find it? Sniff it out yourself, you lazy prick licker.
Listen, I'm a witcher, don't much like cities, and I downright detest crafty little imps like you and having to chase them. As fate would have it, I gotta go to some shady dive known as the Putrid Grove. Thought I'd just walk around, ask some people, and find it. Turns out that's not how it works. I'm tired and I'm angry. So if you don't take me there, I'm gonna have to kill you.
Come with me.
Sadly, despite giving him a good scare, he will still lead you into the same ambush spot as the previous thief. But if you manage to keep a good distance for long enough, he will eventually lead you to the Putrid Grove.
Bring us the usual.
Of course. Keep this up and you'll earn yourselves a preferential rate.
Good, I enjoy shagging freaks. And three-titted wenches are banned in normal brothels.
However, in this case, you won't know the password.
Doing some sightseeing. Kinda curious about what's beyond this gate.
Me brother-in-law was curious. Worms been eating him for 5 years now.
So you will have to resort to Axie or payment, or you can in fact go back to the beggars and learn the password that way.
I like to tiptoe through the tulips.
No, not the password.
Now let me show you the actual ambush.
Nosy bugger.
Yeah, terrible trait. Poking around where I probably shouldn't be, I know. But I gotta find the Putrid Grove.
That's a secret place for secret folk doing secret business. And who's to say you're any good at keeping a secret?
No one.
In a similar fashion to the looter encounter, you can actually scare these guys into submission if you draw your sword midway through the fistfight, once again leading to a unique exchange with them. For this detail here, I will have to thank a viewer of mine by the name of David, who found this by accidentally shooting his crossbow during the fight.
Stop! Enough! I was just following orders. That's him! Bloody hell! Easy! Jumpy, are we? Sheathe your steel. Please?
Got a simple question. You're gonna give me a simple answer.
Finally, you can opt for the only way to enter without the need of passwords or money, and that is through the sewers. The entrance is exactly as the looters told you, just outside the city walls.
Thing is, gotta know how to get there.
They say you gotta get there through the sewers, but you gotta enter them outside of town. Few know where exactly though.
It's beneath Glory Gate, not far from the crazy cat lady's house. If you haven't watched that video, you can check it out. But back to the sewers. Just go through here and it's relatively straightforward.
Take the night shift with me.
I don't know.
One thing to note though is that you find a key which unlocks a door, and that key is no longer available after you finish this quest. So if you want to have a sort of alternative passage into Novigrad through the sewers, you basically have to do it while you're on the quest, or otherwise it's no longer available. Now after you enter, you'll still have to fight your way through a group of people, and this time with weapons.
We've a guest who will kindly tell us what the hell he's doing here.
Of course. You see, I came down here and found a corpse. There was a key on it. Used it to open this door, and here I am.
Know why we ploughing sit here on our asses all day like crippled sewer rats? Eh? To keep out snoopers. Getting in here's not that hard, I guess. Leaving's another story. Ooh-wee! That's him!
He's casting X's.
Mercy!
Get out of my way.
Let him through.
Thank you.
Afterwards, within the grove itself, there are a couple of good pieces of ambient dialogue.
They say you're the best of the pickpockets. Would you mind demonstrating your dexterity?
I'm bound for the market square, love, if you'd like to come and watch.
Not what I had in mind. I was thinking of a bit of enjoyment before they burn me at the stake.
They sell a good saddlebag here as well. And then Geralt finds Triss and they live happily ever after. But here's something else I'd like to mention here. Actually, I've been meaning to talk to you about it for some time, but I wasn't sure where to put it. You know the following part where you do the rat catching with Triss, after which she can get stuck with her burning hands? But before you enter, you have the option to ask the merchant for the full payment in advance. And he agrees relatively easily. That is of course because he doesn't expect you to survive the job.
It's a trap, Geralt.
This stank from the start. If these boys are here to help us kill rats, they're late. You paid up front and got what you paid for. Not half a rodent left in the granary.
I paid in advance because I knew I'd recover my coin.
Now, this type of behavior is something we can witness several times throughout the game, and it can serve as a sort of hint that something fishy is going on with the job we're currently taking. Off the top of my head, I can think of 2 examples, but I'm sure you'll tell me of others in the comments. The first one is of course Olgierd, who sends you after the toad in the sewers while hiding all the important bits and reasons as to why you may not make it out alive.
Still, I'd prefer to agree a specific amount.
Ooh, fine. How much would you like? 3? 400 crowns?
450.
Agreed.
And the second is the Skellige's most wanted contract.
Neckooks, no doubt about it.
What?
Where the Doppler initially agrees to any sum you haggle for because he's sending you into a trap.
Don't know. You lost your transport, so I don't see how you're going to pay me. And I don't work for free.
I've coin set aside. I'm sure we'll agree terms. How much would you ask? A fair price. So, how'll it be?
I'll help you.
Grand! Knew a witcher wouldn't let me down. Not like some waffly prick from Clan Drumdon.
Or Clan Drummond.
Good luck, witcher. Fare you well.
Wait. Where should I look for you?
What?
Once I finish, where will I find you?
Oh, aye. Here. Meaning in the tavern nearby. I'll await you there.
Fine. See ya.
Alright, with that said, I believe we're done. Let me know what you thought of all the things I talked about, and if any of you knows of any other curious details surrounding the Putrid Grove, feel free to share them in the comments. Also, if you liked the video, consider giving it a like, and yeah, thank you very much for watching, thank you for your support, and until the next one, stay tuned and be good.
Someone's been taking advantage of me.
I have.